Welcome to Designing Feature Solutions. Today we're going to show you how to put together the Dwadder. This is an assembly process that is needed in order to put a Dwadder together. Take all your additional pieces to the side. The first pieces are going to be using is the two bottom pieces, and the 11-inch small zip ties. On the zip ties they got a rough edge and then a soft edge. And then the rough edge will be on the inside, and this will allow you to connect the zip tie. First piece is your bottom piece. You take your tubing and you put it through the large holes. Then you take your zip tie and put it through the small hole at the end of the tube. You continue to do this until you get all 6 tubes in the bottom piece through the large holes. Again, the rough end of the zip tie will be facing towards the inside. By doing it one tube at a time, this will keep the tubes from falling out as you place them onto the 11-inch zip tie. As you're putting the zip tie on the tubes, kind of pull the zip tie as you go through. And then once you get to the last one, what you have to do is you put the end of the zip ties together and just pull them just slightly, not all the way tight, as full as possible. Allow it to be like a little loose, like so. Then turn it over. Take your other bottom piece with the big holes and make sure the tube lines up on both sides through the same hole. Make sure they don't cross to a different hole, that they're the same hole from the top to the bottom is identical. Again, continue the same process as before, placing the zip tie through the small holes on the tube. Again, do not cross them over. If you cross them over, they will not work. So don't do that. Make it to where they are straight across from each other. Okay, last one. Again, pull the zip tie kind of through all the holes till the end's a little closer to the other far end. Take the ends. The rough end should be on the inside again, and you'll hear the zip sound. This will let you know that it's clipped together. And again, do it not fully tight. Allow it loose so you have it to where it's identical on both sides. Now you're going to take the 19-inch zip ties, these are your large zip ties. These ties have a rough edge as well as a soft edge, and you can place it together. The nice thing about these is they do have a little clip you hold, and it will release the zip tie so you can reuse it. Okay, you take your large zip tie on the outside edge. You'll go on the outside edge of the small zip tie into the middle of the bottom ball piece to the other side and go through the bottom hole of the D-ball, and then to the outside of the small zip tie. Make sure it's the same So you got one on one side and the other side is going through the same, between the same tubes. And then you're going to take your other zip tie, go ahead and place it onto the end. Count 1, 2, 3 over, and then go back under the zip tie into the middle of the D-ball again, all the way to the other side. And again, the rough edge will be on the inside of the zip tie. Then go on to the outer edge of the small zip tie, and then you zip tie them together. So you got 3 tubes on each side of the large zip tie. Now you can go ahead and pull the small zip tie together tightly, as tight as you can. And then you do pull the other side as well, as tight as you can. Now you can go ahead and start pulling the large zip tie. Do a little bit at a time to allow to make them try to make each side about the same length as you pull it. Then you keep on continuously pulling it back and forth to slowly tighten the zip tie to bring tension on the tube to allow the tubes to expand. And continue to go back and forth pulling the large zip tie until it gets tighter. And once you get it to be pretty tight to where the tubes don't move too freely inside the ball, then you have pulled them tight enough. Then you take the edge of the large zip tie and take it and place it back into the center hole. This will hold your extra amount of zip tie. So over the outer zip tie and place through the center hole. And this will hold the extra length of the large zip tie. And you're all done with the main piece of the Dwadder. Next thing you need to do is clip the edges of the small zip tie off. Try to clip it as short as possible, but not too short. Okay, once you clipped off both edges, this is the way it's supposed to look inside the D-ball for the Dwadder. Now you take the top piece of the D-ball, you line up the edge hole and pick either the front or the back, it doesn't matter which, and you pull the clear silicone tube through the small hole. Again, place it through the hole, pull it through, and then go straight across and pull that through to where the silicone is even. Then take the other piece of the D ball and again place it to where it's either front or back of the front of the hole edge, and then straight across from each other, and pull it out to be identical lengths. Then you take the silicone bow and place it around the outer edge of the bottom half of the D ball of the Dwadder. Do that on both sides. Then you take the top piece of the D ball and again connect them the exact same way as you would a normal D ball. Just push together and turn. And then you can pull up the bow silicone into the center. This will again hold the top, keep the top and the bottom piece from separating on the D ball. Do this on both sides. Now you're going to take your cord stopper. This is what's going to hold the silicone cord together to allow you to hold a sheet or a blanket underneath it. The cord stopper is spring loaded. All you have to do is push the top down and then push the silicone tube through one of the holes of the cord stopper. You put one in one direction and one in the opposite direction. Then you can pull them till they're tight. As you can see, the silicone is very stretchy to allow you to adjust the cord stopper as well for different size blankets and sheets. And you do it for the other side as well. Pull it tight as well, and again you can adjust for different types of sheets and blankets, and that's how you put the Dwadder together.